So over to you, Dr. Komolafe. Welcoming everyone to the show this afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Dr. Komolafe. Welcome, everyone. I can see Mr. Alexander Okoro. You are an author. I can also see Musa Benjamin. You are welcome to this program. And I can also see my beloved sister, Keke Kure. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Komolafe, the erudite prof, you can take it off from here.
Okay, you want to go through my citation?
Yes.
Can you see it? Can you see the display?
Not yet. Let me see. We're sharing.
Can we see the display?
Okay.
Can we all see the power?
Can see it now. Mm-hmm.
I can see.
Yes.
I can see it.
Okay, so Dr. Mba, you want to read it as we proceed?
Okay. Let me read it. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, this is the profile of erudite presenter, the no show himself, Professor James Komolafe, PhD, Behavioral Health. He is a Lapage Metaverse African intervention consultant, packaging experts from over 100 countries. Dr. Komolafe, your picture is obstructing that part.
Okay, so let me remove it.
Yes, I just.
You see it now?
A little more movement of your picture profile.
I thought I moved. Okay, just a minute. Let me rework.
All right.
How about now?
Here is okay, I can manage it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You are the Registrar CEO, Institute of Behavioral Alignment of Nigeria, Yaban, and the State Administrator. You are also several bodies, such as this one, your picture is covering it. Certified Cognitive from Florida, USA. Member, Behavioral Health, Massachusetts, GHP Academy, Chief Consultant, Psychometrician at the SABA Resources. SABA is School for Articulation and Behavioral Adjustment. Senior Contributor, Professor to School of Policies, Politics and Governance, SPPG, Institute of National Transformation, INT, Nigerian Prize for Leadership, NPL, Legislative Mentorship Institute, LMI, and in other private organizations. We've conducted training expeditions across private public sectors over the decade, such as Ministry of Finance, Defense, Bureau of Public Enterprises, Ministry of Police Affairs, Federal Housing Authority, Federal Fire Service, Federal Mortgage Bank, among others. Dr. James has created over 200 strategic solutions for private and corporate leads for intervention, setting the pace for agility in the 21st century for organizations across levels. Superintendents over Team Strategy Network, TSN, strategic concepts development through conferences, platform speaking, summits, and the media. He is a venture builder individuals and institutions from zero level to prominence. Happily married to Veronica and blessed with Dr. Rosemary, Mark, Victor, and his contacts, James Ikomi at gmail.com, at Coach Komolafe, www.sabaresources.com. And your phone number is 080-3599-9290. Welcome, our erudite presenter, Dr. James Komolafe, PhD.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Komolafe, for the painstaking time you took to introduce me and this noble work we're doing through the grace of God. Welcoming everyone to the show. Please get your pen and paper. It's a critical work we're doing just to make contribution where it matters. Contribution to human lives is a course we never can graduate from. Whatever career we find ourselves, profession we find ourselves, it behooves us to keep deepening content, creating new concepts, and establishing new contexts that will make people to cope and cope well in whatever situation they find themselves. We have a very pivotal training to do today about fundamental framework integration. What is a framework? What is fundamental about the framework we are creating? Can you all see my PowerPoint? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. I can hear you. I'm seeing the PowerPoint.
Okay.
I can hear.
So, fundamental framework integration. The issue of drug addiction and substance abuse is everywhere. In Africa, the rest part of the world, and especially in Nigeria. And we have various organizations and agencies that are fighting hard, tooth and nail, to ensure that it is abated. No little thanks to NDLEA, no little thanks to the critical team of the public and private rehab centers, caregivers, medical doctors, clinical psychologists, the psychiatrists, behavioral therapists, and all kinds of people in the various professions and the medical world, doing so much and pretty to ensuring that people cope and cope well after therapy, after rehab, to ensure that people who have just recovered remain in the recovery plan and getting well over time. Now, what are we doing critically before Dr. Mba comes up afterwards? We want to see how to close the back end of service delivery to people who have had issues with their psychosocial health, medical health, emotional health, physical health, even financial health, and to see how to help individuals become their better version after recovery. We are very particular and pivotal about the issue of relapses. People coming down in their previous symptoms, sicknesses, and what kept them away from circulation in the first instance. What do we do? How do we route relapses and to ensure that people cope well, cope fine, live well, live long, and live strong so as to face their daily businesses of life? That's what we're doing. How do we ensure that the back end of recovery is closed and people don't come down? How do we route relapses? How do we reprogram people back to their default setting in order to enjoy a full-blown life without remainder? These are the issues we are discussing. That's why we're introducing us all to a concept called the no, grow, show strategy. Meaning, you need to know something, grow something in order to showcase something. You know something inside, you grow something inside, and then you show it on the outside. Relapses generally are issues of the inside. What is happening inside to an individual matters a huge lot. When one who have just recovered lacks the capacity to manage his inside, then so many things go wrong on the outside. He is being dominated by what is happening outside. The triggers are there, the environment is there, culture, nurture, nature, and so many other factors are there to say, hey, you are here, you are part of all. You must do what everybody does and live the way everybody lives. But we're saying no, relapses can be avoided and averted. We can help people cope and cope well. And when we talk about relapses, it's not limited to people who came out of a psychosocial place, like the rehab facilities, care centers, control environment. It's also extended to people who came out of the regular hospitals after a long track of illness. Somehow, our team have discovered that when one goes into a care center or even hospital and you stay for a while, it has some certain effect on your mind. The way you think, the way you feel is affected. The way you coordinate is affected. staying in one place, even when you are not sick, has some psychosocial effect on one's mind. How much more when you are going through trauma, pain, and some sort of disturbances? Or you are needing healing because of bruises, accidents, and all. So this effort is to let us know that, hey, no matter what is happening on the outside, we have a responsibility to ensure that we track things, trunk things, tame things, and what needed to be trashed are trashed from the inside so that the individual can coordinate well on the outside. That's what we're saying, and that's what we would also love to do. To say, hey, everything can go well, everything can go fine, you can stay on the path of recovery and keep enjoying recovery. Very important. So, a fundamental framework is being built around that space. To say, once you walk within this frame, you'll be able to route what is happening inside for what you need to be outside. So what is a fundamental framework that we can integrate in our workplace? You say, but doctor, my own is not sickness. I'm up. People around me are okay. You still need a fundamental frame to be able to sustain whatever you are doing and to grow it over time. So a fundamental framework is a basic structure or outline that provides a foundation for understanding, one, analyzing, or addressing a particular concept or problem. You want to have a better perspective over what is happening, what is ongoing. You need a framework. You want to keep a system and structure in place. You need a framework. You want to be able to showcase and show, demonstrate professionalism. You need a framework. You want to be able to say, hey, I know what I am doing, and I am doing what I know as a professional. You need a framework. So this is the meaning of a framework. So very vital. So in framework, you develop a kind of a systemic appeal that tells you what to start with, where you are going, when you get there, how do you know you have arrived? It's very critical in framework. Frameworks are incorporated in research education. They guide you from one step to another. Yes, doctor, there's no one size fits it all. But we are saying a framework provides a guiding, a set of guiding principles to showing you, oh, after this step, do this, look for this, look for that, build this, build that, and be orderly, be organized. That's a framework. So what are the characteristics of a framework? It is comprehensive, shows you all you need to know and see. You can build a framework for your workspace as a teacher, as a student, For your business, you need framework. For your lifestyle, you need framework. As a leader, as a manager, as a preacher, there's nowhere framework is not needed. So framework are needed to be able to define the rule of the game and invite others to play it just as you want it played. So it is comprehensive, covers the essential element or components of the concept you want it to target. It is also systematic. It gives you a modal approach about the issue, how to go about addressing it. You are not stranded as a professional. It is flexible. You know, human beings are emotional beings. You meet some cases as a counselor or therapist, teacher or pastor or doctor, whatever your case may be, and the way they will so much overblow it. If care is not taken, you'll be carried away. So what helps you at such a situation is the framework you have with which you do your own thing. So it is scalable. It can be applied in various issues. It is also structural, meaning it has internal template that is unique, that is so engaging and reinforcing so that each and every one will know what his responsibility or her responsibility is. Framework. A work in a frame. A frame of work. Everything in life, if it must be handy, influential, attractive, having the capacity to be utilized, must be in a frame. Marriage must be in a frame. Job in a frame. Friendship in a frame. Framework offers true definition over issues of life. Framework brings cohesiveness. You are able to see your line of convergence and communication in frameworks. It brings an enabling environment for everyone who uses it. It creates the same rule for everybody. When you see an organization that is confused, everybody does what he likes and goes away with it, it is because of the absence of framework. When you see a team where anybody can just say anything, do anything, and nothing happens, there is the absence of framework. Framework offers predictability. You are able to say, this is where we're starting from. This is the end point. This is where we are going. This is the road to getting there. So very pivotal. After recovery, after rehab, framework must be in place for the individual who have just recovered. It's not enough to tell him the do's and the don'ts. It is also vital that this person knows what to do and relate with a frame. So, behaviorally speaking, framework keeps everybody at peace. You will know who is doing it right, who is not doing it right. Frameworks gives everyone the capacity to deliver. To deliver results. Then you can secure validation and know that, oh, I'm authentic, I'm genuine. What I'm doing is evidence-based. You want to prove whether your works are empirical, whether your works are okay, then relate to the frame. The frame you have determines the fire you are able to sustain. Why do you need a framework? It clarifies complex concepts. You're able to see in total. Structured approach, it guides your analysis and helps you in solving problems because you will be able to do analysis. Framework offers you that competence to doing analysis, to getting what you need to get, and to becoming the one who offers credible solution. Because the framework you are offering, you have tested it, approve of it, and know for sure that it delivers. And so also we need for everyone who wants to take a dive and a drive for an uplift in whatever area, either for health, for strength, for wealth, for work, and for all that we do and want to become. Framework supports evaluation and improvement. You are able to have your strategies refined as you create the intervention. It drives the energy of everyone who participates towards a focused end. You are sure of where you are going, how to get there, and you are able to deliver upon credible platforms. Now, why are we doing framework fundamental for relapses? The issue of relapse and relapses is such a one case too many. A case too many. People go through the rehab after 2 or 3 weeks, they are down. After 3 months, they are back again. People don't sustain their healing process. People jettison their recovery plan, and before you know it, they are back again. We call it relapses. So why are we creating this fundamental framework? Or why have we created it? It is to profile the critical fundamentals of the one who have just recovered. Who is he? Where is his situation now? What is the next thing about his life? You are able to see him at recovery. You are able to check some elements of violation inside him, even when he has not done it outside, so that you can clear some issues round about his life that will hinder him from focusing on what matters. You're able to align his values and virtues with the templates on ground as you crush the vices. In today's psychosocial work and balance, you don't wait to cure. You actually build frameworks that prevents and cures at the same time. So you're able to mainstream potential with learning possibility, groom leadership, create a bonding, and then help the individual to take over his or her own life more appreciably rather than just obeying rules. Don't do this. Sleep at this time. Wake up at this time. Don't greet this person. Beware of bad friends. Well, those are palliatives on the surface, which often has not helped that much. So the need for a fundamental framework that helps your friend, your client, the just recovered, the one who just came out of rehab, is very vital. So what strategy do we adopt in this fundamental framework? It is the 5T model, where you teach them, which is education. You test them on the spot, which is evaluation. You treat them, intervention. You train the result, which is integration. And you trust out the initiative. This is called execution. So the 5T model is critical. You will see it's not just talking to them and encouraging and advising them. You also need to go inside them to be able to show them what is inside them and helping them out. So how do you do that? Look at this diagram. You take them to the journey, through the journey to the unashamed place. And you see all these circles? It begins from identity. No grow strategy. You know your identity, you grow your totality, and show your productivity. So the first circle says, who is this persona? Who is he mentally, physically, emotionally, and otherwise? We need to know. How do you know? Through the tube of care. So care is critical. The individual you don't care for, you may not be able to have the patience and the concern to find out what their personal identity is. And so, with that show of care, relationship commences. What are you trying to know, grow here? The potential. You know the persona, what are his potential? The element of his strength. Why his identity, the persona, is the element of his health. And you go ahead to find out through service the element of his wealth. Health, number one, strength, number two, and wealth, number three, is critical. If we must not continue to have relapses after rehabilitation, after recovery from hospital, or after counseling somebody, and you don't want that person to go back into those things, handle these three core areas of his life. Know his identity and show him, grow his authority, which is his potential, and then help him to showcase his creativity so that he will have internal alignment for his external assignment. And then in his four is the place where he is unashamed. He is his pure self here, is bold, courageous, hitting the ground running, because he has every blend of his life contributing to the flow he daily reels out. And that is the secret to working everyone out of rehabs, centers, the hospital, to living long, young, and strong, where he can be proud of his life. At this juncture, he's not struggling with anything. He's just his perfect self, because he knows his identity, who he is, grows his authority, what he has, in order to showcase his creativity, what he can do or become. So persona for health, potential for strength, and productivity for wealth. So here is your balanced individual who is just good, hitting the ground running and recovering on a very fast lane. Now these three provides the phenomenon. Provides is deep, and he begins to dig into himself and grow some more. So Look at this triangle you can see, which is in 4. Until we get our client to the point whereby he can appreciate his number 4, we have not done pretty much on his inside. That is where he secures his balance and becomes just cute, going places when we take him to his number 4. So very radiant and critical. We need to know what to do to secure our client in 1 and stays in the center of his identity to be able to capture the spread of his life. So what do we do to make our client take his place in the center of his persona so that he can capture his space? The same thing here in his potential. What do we do to make him find his center in order to capture his circumference? You must also do the same here. What do we do for him to make him find his place in order to take his space? Where we can do these 3, then he finds his unique selling point. He finds his brand identity as an individual because he's been able to capture the essence of his life, for which people call purpose. So when your client can appreciate his purpose, then he runs on his own. He is not timid or shy. He is not ashamed. He knows what to do, and he does what he knows over time. That is the essence of life. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain further this number 4. People who are even regular, not sick, not having any ailment or illness, are finding it difficult to identify with their 4. What people do most time is to just pray and pray. Oh God, show me my purpose. Why am I alive? I want to tell you, beyond prayer, you need counseling. I'm choosing my word. I don't want to say therapy, because once you say therapy here, it's meant for the sick in the brain. That's what we believe. Once you say therapy here, it's meant for somebody who is not sound in mind. No, everybody needs therapy. So you are struggling, you don't know where you are in for. You are not a brand identity yet, and you are not occupying the center spread of your life. Then you need this fundamental framework, service, to put you in check and in order, because time, of course, waits for no one. So now let's coil out this triangle. Can we all see that this triangle is an upside down triangle, which in life is inappropriate? Look at it here. And that's one of the reasons why patients outside of rehab center, hospital, they fall into relapses after a while. That's why this course is necessary for everyone in any profession. Can you see the triangle upside down? Now this is the meaning. The guy has ability, sitting atop, great ability, and peddling reality and activity. So he's still upside down. He has found himself. He has recovered from that sickness that kept him in hospital for 1 week, 2 months, as the case may be. You see, you go into hospital and come out of a particular treatment. Somehow, life could be upside down for you temporarily, depending on the degree of trauma and emotional imbalances that you find yourself. So see this our guy who is out of hospital or rehab, sitting atop ability, what he has, and only showcasing reality and activity. Same thing all of the time. Every work cringes down to him. He carries load and body. And this over time can cause multiple issues in his life. He can begin to have some burdens, depressive tendencies, overweight by much activity, and so many other things, because all that people are seeing through him is his circumstance, the reality, and his assignment, his activities. They won't know his ability because he's sitting atop it. So what do we do by this fundamental framework integration? We show him and help him to upturn his triangle so that he can sit right and be comfortable. We create the enabling environment and an appreciable ecosystem for him to find his balance through prayer to agitate his spirit, through planning to agitate his soul, and through playing of roles to activate his body for assignment. So when that is done, 10 things will be achieved for him. We'll touch him, trim him, showcase his new task, train him, trend him, show him his treasure, and these other issues will come up in his life to define his new balance. From there, the framework creates an opportunity for him to build certain staircase. Can you see this lady in this picture, in this book? It will not need to go through emotional dehydration. When people are dehydrated, they lack the enough fluid that they need to cope with life because of dehydration. So people can be dehydrated emotionally. They are lopsided in relationship and responsibilities. They do small things, they tell you they are tired. Just to talk to an individual, they talk anyhow. Emotional dehydration. Some other people call it stress. It may not be stress, but emotion at riot. Emotion running riot. Dry. No life. Communication is poor. Interaction is poor. You would rather prefer to just stay cool and quiet around him or her rather than talk, because you know when you talk, it's either that a fault is coming out or a strong emotional confrontation is coming out. Emotional dehydration is a whole course we can take at some other time. So in order to prevent that from building up, you show your client how to build a 3-tier model here so that whoever contacts him will see a plain life and is accessible to everybody that comes around his life, irrespective of gender, race, creed, and all that. First contact. How do I do things? How do I receive people? Matters a huge lot. And then when people come into his life, construction level, how is he able to provide accommodation, windows of affection, rapport, interaction, so that when people leave him, they leave him happy, joyful, and radiant. This framework analysis offers such opportunities so that you can build it and integrate it on your platform in order to showcase care and concern for people. Very pivotal. So, in this fundamental framework, there's this engagement at contact level when people come around, at construction level when people are provided opportunity to sit at home with them, and then at contribution level where input, throughput, and output mechanisms are fixed for them. The framework provides such opportunity so that there will be no relapses. We're able to monitor gaps, loopholes, and vacuum and block them before they show outside. We don't assume or presume. Then we're able to walk them through responsibility profiling, relativity profiling, and personality package profiling. In terms of responsibility, what are his abilities? What are the realities around him and within him? Is he liable to fear, prone to phobia, trauma, and all of that? And then what are the activities he engages in? They matter a huge lot. Where these three don't correspond, it will become irresponsible after restoration, after rehabilitation. But where he is able to align his ability with the reality of his life and performs activity that are relevant to those other two, then he becomes responsible. We look at him in terms of relativity. What is the content inside him? What context is he creating around him? And what contribution does he want to make to life and materiality? With this, it will become engaged on the inside to showcase so many things and virtues on the outside. Then we look at his personality package profiling by checking his character, competence, and capacity. With all of these, your client stays skilled, strong, hale and healthy, and is self-motivating. So in summary, these are the 10 domains taken care of by this fundamental framework. For some of you who really wants to be trained, we'll provide the opportunity in another 1 week to take you through the work aspect of this fundamental framework. How do I get my client to understand his identity? There are works there, assessment to run, to understand his totality and to find his balance. We train people who wants to integrate this on their various platforms, irrespective of who they are and for what to do. How do they go into creativity and ensuring that they stay balanced? It's also a training which we have made provision for. But we need to tell you how the fundamental framework works so that you can utilize it and get maximum outcome from it. The first thing it fixes is the health of the recovered. Then his strength, wealth, depth, stretch, edge, length, birth, growth, and faith, so that it can reintegrate into the society and become his total person. It's not missing anything, rather, it's finding fulfillment and catching fun in that which he does. So these 10 domains you have seen, this is the diagram from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, to 5, to 6, to 7. This is internal within him. And then 8, 9, 10 are external outside of him. We will train you to be able to use these things and to ensure that this framework becomes a tool for you to engage with people and to help them becoming their bigger version, best version, and to enjoy the fullest of their lives. That's what the framework is talking about. These are how it operates. Each domain profiles him for a place and a space. Where a man can find his place, he takes his place because it's no longer lopsided. Reality checks are provided. We can see the areas of vulnerability, the gaps, the loopholes, and test this individual without instrument in order to treat him and to ensure he finds his full-blown life again. So those are issues. The first one is the health, is persona, like we told you. These are just breakdown of what I have said. Be able to find out how well is this patient finding his place and taking his space in his own life. What are the gaps, loophole, and authority? So you can draw a circle and put a dot. If you have your pen and paper there, draw a circle, put a dot. Your circle does not necessarily have to be perfect before you get a perfect result. So what are we saying? The one who just came out of therapy, out of treatment, we need to profile him to see whether he finds his place as an individual and taking his space. It's a training through psychometric analysis to be able to realize that. That is his health variable, his persona. Number 2, we also go ahead to look at his strength. And you see, how well is he taking charge of the area of his strength? What are his skills, gifts, talent, capacity, and motion for performance? His enthusiasm. We need to know all of this as well so that his potential can rise just as his persona have risen. They all have various advantages. His talents and everything. His sin, his motivation, his drive, his sin. Then the third one is his wealth. 1, health. 2, strength. 3, wealth. How do we join his health to his strength? In order to produce his wealth. Very vital. And until we fix our compatriots in this order, corruption will continue to be the bane of society. People are corrupt not because they do corruption outside, but because they are corrupted on the inside. There is no harmony between who they are, what they have, and what they can do. So they become lopsided on the outside. So they want to steal every money, do the wrong thing for the very wrong reason, because they have internal alignment problems. So you help your client not to have alignment problems. Any man who has alignment within for a problem, we also have an assignment without for a problem. It is alignment within for assignment without. So it has its own various issues. And then the number 4, which is the middle, the triangle I show you, is his critical nucleus where he has become a brand and can do flawless work, where he has been able to dig so deep into himself to bring values out for people. That is his powerhouse. The fundamental framework makes provision for his powerhouse, where he can find a need and fix it, where he's out as a classic individual and a unique brand. It has all of these advantages, even for him as an individual. So we make him realize this through that framework, and he begins to catch fun in his own life. And then the fifth one, he builds constituency around himself. They say birds of the same feather flock together. He builds constituency. He's happy with himself. Others are getting attracted to him. He stretches to them so as to build a network of people around him who are doing what he does and who are happy becoming a part of his world. These are all necessary. The language of constituency should not only be a political language. When are we going to have constituencies of engineers, constituencies of entrepreneurs, constituency of caregivers, doctors, and all the rest of it? We need not only to become a brand identity, we need to incorporate other people into our space through networking, collaboration, and partnership, religion or no religion, notwithstanding. Then we help the individual to also stretch out, and he grows out to influencing communities. Can you see where he started from? From his persona to his potential to his production and then to his powerhouse. From there, he raises other powerhouses who goes out there to raise other privileged ones. He begins to engage positively, performs responsibility, he becomes useful, valuable, and supporting the society to grow and develop. He is not the one everybody is just trusting that, oh, he will stand, he will not compromise. The fear over him is long gone because he has light on his inside for his life on the outside. These are all templates woven in the fundamental framework integration policy for all of you who are critical stakeholders in your field. So very vital. And then the last of it on his inside is the one he begins to gain continental applause. He's fixed himself, fixed his own universe, then he can take on his universe and fix any other people at this level. He begins to raise what I call the pioneers in the nation. Just that one person. But because he has been helped through life and through this framework that he builds to accommodate every Tom, Dick, and Harry to do what he does and to even become much more successful than he is. So very vital. He becomes a global ambassador. Many things happen for the good of it. And then the eighth domain, he begins to collaborate with some other people because he has become so big and mighty. And then from there, he begins to grow. His continuity appeal, he grows his work, just like a woman who delivers. We also stay to nurture the child and grow with the child. Begins to grow, and in the final analysis, people will have faith in his delivery because he's an executor of projects, finisher of programs, a regional integrator. he does massive action, and he drives the economy towards a logical end. The government and the corporate bodies are at his beck and call. Why? Because he has known himself so well. So before I introduce you to the proper certification training so that you can install this project on your own space, in your own workspace, I would like you to put down your question. When Dr. Mba finishes his session in a short while, then you can ask your question, and we will introduce you to this master class holding next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, so that you'll be fully abreast of the assessment behind it, the other facilities you need to make this fundamental framework an integrative thing in your own platform. I hope you do enjoy my share. So if you have got value, can I hear your response before I bring up Dr. Ba to share briefly? So what are the comments, the applauses, new lessons you have learned, every one of us on the platform? So did you get value so far? Did anything new hit you for which you think is doable? Anyone in the house who heard me? Only
Hello.
yes.
Okay. It's so good to be part of this training, Doc. And I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a media practitioner and a fashion entrepreneur. Because of my health experiences and my media experiences, I've come across lots of cases of people who are down with the issues that we're talking about. And I have learned so much. I'm not a medical doctor. And so I used to think that all that is needed is just you take people to the rehab centers and then they get treated and then they're done. They're okay, you know. So I'm for the first time getting to know about all these frameworks that are needed to ensure that people don't get back to or people don't relapse. So
Yes.
I'm very, very enlightened and educated, especially with this training, and I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to continue such trainings again. Thank you very much, Dr. Mba and the Prof. Thank you. I've learned a lot and I'm still waiting.
Thank you so very much. The question you have just asked now, find the answer here. Everybody needs a framework. I'm not a medical doctor myself, but I create frameworks for everyone, for institutions and organizations. You see, look at the whole stretch of it, of what the framework provides. For business, the concept of the individual, you don't need to be sick to even know who you are by self-concept. Very vital. Which is your health, your holistic life, then your construct, which is your strength. What are your whole competencies? In fact, when all these investment packages on the other side are not discovered, people come down in their health. Tell me what, madam, anybody who finds his holistic lifestyle, competencies, value creation initiatives, unique selling points, institutions, enterprise, societal participation, who live full blast. They won't have time to be sick. But you know, when people don't have strength, they don't know what their health portends. They are just struggling here and there. They are in the midst of ocean, yet thirsty. They've come their health. So Very good, you have spoken. You are not a medical doctor, but what you have had now is good for people, no matter who they are, where they come out of, either they are good, they are sick, they are not sick. You need a framework to survive and to be very significant in life. Although we made our emphasis today curbing relapses across Africa and the rest of the world. When these are done through this fundamental framework, the individual will not need to go through relapses. He may have one or two, but those are just learning, part of his learning curve. But to say, oh, I've come out of the 7th rehab, this is the 3rd relapse, 4th relapse, is simply because of these gaps that nobody sees and nobody is taking care of. That's why we say, hey, whether you are sound, you are not sound, if you must live very effectively and uniquely, fulfilling your purpose and delivering on your compelling energies, then you need a framework. But where there is no wood, the fire goeth out. You need a frame for your fire on a sustainable note. So thank you so very much. Any other observation? It's a huge thing, which everyone needs for education, for business enterprise, for whatever career, so as to help yourself and help others too. Any other?
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, Dr. Komolafe.
Yes,
can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you, Mr. Alexander Okoro.
Oh, first of all, I want to appreciate you. Thank you very much for this very deep insight. And I mean, I didn't hesitate to follow through from that exposition during the NDLE's X space, because I thought you dodged it and I knew it was very deep. And once again, this has also shown that there's a lot more to escape from what you have said. Yeah. This is very practical because, I mean, I've had to mentor a lot of young people, all right? A lot of young people. I'm an author. I have several books, Pillars of Integrity, a character formation book, okay, for teenagers and youths. And I've also developed a drug abuse prevention exercise book, something that we're integrating into schools, and I appreciate the NDLE for their partnership. Wow. So, I mean, young people for me has been a lifelong thing. Because, you know, there's something you mentioned about internal alignment, okay, that now translates to your assignment or assignments. Yes, I think you mentioned something like that. Yeah. Internal alignment, and then you wake up to now carry out an assignment. Yes. This is very practical because you see, at some point, I have mentored people so much that you make recommendation based on what you think it's good for them. And somehow you don't see those progress. Yeah. Yes. You don't see those progress until you were able to identify that internal alignment. Very critical. You know, that's the heart of it. And then, absolutely, and then the person peaks. So recently, I've had to tell one of my mentees that okay, you have peaked. So we don't have to start going through the process again because she has made some progress and now she doesn't need me often. Okay, so this is very practical, and I want to really appreciate you for this. Definitely, we will scale from here. And you know, part of what this will achieve for us is that we want to have more success rates. Yes. Right? When we engage with schools, engage with young people, what you want to come out with is success. So every material that is required to ensure that our strength is not wasted, it's really good. And this is one of them. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful. Introduction, Mr. Alex. I'm just skimming on the surface. By the time I take you into the deeper waters, then you will see that therapy and caregiving is beyond just surface or waiting. And that's why when we go to some rehabs, on a fair note, they will say, well, we are watching to see his response. No, beyond waiting to see his response, there are things, facilities that this framework offers
for you to actually do what we call behavioral pitch. You are able to see where he's going, how to get there, and walk him through. And you are able to carry him along in those things. That's why we have dedicated 2 solid days to just training people who will be ready to say, doctor, I want to know this secret, so that you won't have relapses. And then you will not just give them a garment because you fit, you just felt is their size on the outside. A boy of 10 years old can begin to grow breasts. A boy. That doesn't mean he's emotionally mature and all of that. So outward reality is different from internal reality. So that is why our framework analysis captures them on their inside, what it was, what it is, and what it can be. With facts and figures, it's in the ground running. Each of these 10 variables have their various psychometric assessments, by which we will run to see where they are, what are the loopholes, what are the vacuums, and what are the gaps, for which just this moment will not be able to do. But we want people who are committed, who really are very, very passionate in utilizing these tools, and then we can give them on trust and to say, please apply this on your desk. And we are grateful you are here. Meeting you here means this meeting and this program is a success because of the people in your downlines and the rest of it. So we're going to collaborate with you and see what you are doing and see where we can put a little here and there to ensure that this fundamental framework analysis becomes an integral part of your work that gives you calmness, safety, and then you have rest in what you are doing in schools, in places, and can even write more books because of new discovery and relativity. So my number is hands-on. That's my direct number. Please put it down so that we can engage with you on various platforms later. So
thank you, sir. Thank you.
How much ado, let me read the citation of Dr. Mba, who is a very critical member and formulator of this fundamental framework. He is a medical doctor of note in Africa who have seen it in and out and have done credible works across the medical terrain, psychosocial terrain, and have helped so many leaders to be their best self and their best version. So he will come up when I'm through with his citation now to tell us his own aspect and contribution to this fundamental framework, so that as people get well and recover from the various rehab center, care center, homes, and what have you, we can also institute this same framework in hospitals across the universe, beginning from Nigeria, so that people who are recovered or recovering and fully bounce back psychosocially, emotionally, behaviorally, and the rest of it. Dr. Mba Ogele Onyekwere, General Medical Practitioner, Restorative Health Expert, CEO, JEPROP Medicals in Wuse Zone 3, Abuja, with this retinue of information. His professional summary is that he is a dedicated and experienced general medical practitioner with a strong background in clinical practice, hospital management, and health restoration, adept at providing quality healthcare services, managing medical facilities, and leading medical outreach programs. He is a committed advocate for continuous medical education, and that's why you find him in this fundamental framework so integral. with extensive local and international training, passionate about patient care and community health improvement. About his education, he is an alumnus of Nigeria, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, MBBS 1992. Professional experience, general medical practitioner, health restoration expert, practice in various reputable hospitals, and have managed healthcare facilities, ensuring the highest ethical standards of patient care. Nigeria Army Reference Hospital, Kaduna, provided medical diagnosis, treatment, and patient care. El Shaddai Hospital managed patients, consultation, and treatment plan, just to mention but a few. I can go on and on and on. Grima Medical Center, Lagos, deliver primary healthcare services and emergency response. Sentinel Hospital led so many people and leaders in healthcare services, and name it. I can go on and on and on. And he is a man who has seen it in and out of the medical practice and is still not tired. Join me as I make welcome Dr. Mba Onyekwere. Over to you, Doctor. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Komolafe James, the erudite professor of psychosomatics. Thank you so much. You have made the job quite easy for us this moment, and we thank you. Yes, I am taking the aspect of what we do in the orthodox medical practice. What we do is a part of health management. It's not really restoration of health or giving people back their health, because I know the Alma Ata Declaration of what health is says that health is a state of complete physical, social, economic well-being, not just the absence of disease. I dare add also that it is also a state of complete financial independence, because so many people today are getting it wrong because there's no color in the hand, no money in the pocket. So depression sets in. People engage in all sorts of things, thinking that that is what will make them happy. That is why also people engage in substance use. But in our practice, we know that there are relapses, not just for substance use patients. There are relapses in other sicknesses, because what we do is actually to take care of the symptoms. Most of them, the major cause, are still hidden and are still left untreated, and the patient leaves the hospital or the clinic wondering what the next thing could be. Let me give you a scenario. A patient came in with what we call obstructed hernia. That means that there was a swelling that came out of his body. It's the intestine actually that comes out through that swelling. And at a point it gets trapped. The person experiences serious stomach pain, and the person may vomit. The person also may start passing watery stool. After we had done the surgery and the patient gets well, the patient was not yet settled. He will come back and say, "Doctor, I want the strongest injection to get me out of this pain, to get me out of this trouble." I said, no, I had to sit him down and talk to him that he's already free of that discomfort. But in his mind, he is not yet free. That is what this framework does, to touch the person in time internally, so that his outward person will also be complete. And why are there relapses? Those are the questions, the big questions we need to answer. The reason for relapses is just because people have not been treated personally. What do I mean? Treatment should be individualized. But unfortunately for us, in the Orthodox practice, what we do is take what was given to John and give it to James. Even though we know that the individual constitution is quite different. And when that happens, it works for John, it may not work for James. So we need to individualize or personalize our treatments so that those people will be wholly treated. It's not enough telling somebody who has diabetes, for instance, or I take this tablet, don't eat this type of food, don't eat that type of food. The person goes home, worse off, because at this point, we have laid even more burden on that patient without explaining fully how that will help that patient, one, how that patient can be able to source those other things we want them to use. Now we have added to the person's burden. And the person goes home, looks at the drugs, takes it 1 or 2 days and throws it away, and comes back worse than when he met us. So it is very, very vital that we articulate and add this fundamental framework into our practices so that the patient will be whole. Let me recall another incident. This patient has been coming to hospital. What is the complaint? Things moving around her body. I now begin to probe deeper into her, and I discovered that she was going through a terrible emotional trauma. It was when that was settled, the patient came back and told me that those symptoms are gone. And then that's how the patient moved on with her life. Otherwise, she would have been spending and spending without getting results. So this framework is very key for the people to know who they are, to know what the problem is, and to know what the solution is. That will now help them to accept the privileges, the provisions we are providing for them that will make them healthier. And at that point, they will be able to grow. And when they grow, they now show it outside. They become useful to themselves, to their community, and to their family, and the society at large. This is what this framework is all about, providing sustained healthy life to individuals whose health has been violated in one way or the other. Then we also look at how to stop these recurrent relapses. Having given individual or personalized treatment, we should also look at their psychological and emotional, give them psychological and emotional support, which is part and parcel of this fundamental framework. If we don't take care of those psychological and emotional support, we will miss it. Let me give us an instance. In a woman that is menopausal, there is what we call hot flushes. Those who don't understand it will think that they have sent something from the village to kill them, because at a point in their life, what they experience is faintness. They start fainting. They start seeing a lot of sweat around their bodies. They think that they will die in the next moment. But somehow, because of how God has set it out, they will recover. And then that will infuse fear into them. And you see them running helter-skelter, even taking things that will worsen their situations. So that is why we need to have psychological and emotional support given to this type of people. The fundamental framework integration does not stop at that individual. It also is extended to the family. Let me go back to what I discussed about diabetes. There are some foods they shouldn't eat. And the family members have to be brought in to help them in this aspect, to provide them with support and encourage them that it is a change in lifestyle, which needs a change in attitude. When we train the family and the family is giving support, the person becomes happier. Unlike when the family would not know, they will not bring those things that will aggravate the already bad situation in the life of that individual. So bringing in family support will discourage relapses, because the family will always remind this person, you need to take your medication at this hour, you need to take this type of food, you need to engage in this type of exercise, for instance. So that is what also will prevent recurrent relapses. Apart from that, then the therapeutic approaches for relapses, relapse prevention. We have talked about cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, motivational interviewings, mindfulness based on relapse prevention. And we also should have support groups, which is why we are trying to bring you into this program, because we will not be everywhere, and individuals who handle these cases will not be everywhere. But when others are trained, they provide support to these people, and that group expands, and then help is handy. Because often what encourages relapse is that help is not handy. Then we also will talk about community response to such individuals. Sometimes when people come out from the rehab, they are stigmatized. Stigmatization comes from ignorance. These people don't know that what that person did was not voluntary. Something had pushed that person into that state that person was found. Now that the person has been restored, the community need also to support that person and encourage him so that his restoration will be total. So with those practices, we will be able to curtail relapses and then help people who have gone through these chronic, as we put it, chronic diseases, to come back to their whole self so that their lifestyle will now be better than what it used to be. So we talk about lifestyle modification. Regular exercise is needful. Healthy nutrition is needful. Adequate sleep is also very, very important in the management of stress also. So these are things that we have inculcated, we have also added to this fundamental framework to help people not to relapse easily. I think I would want to stop here, because next week we'll have a fuller lectures in this module to help us get our people to that complete health and not partial health. Thank you very much. Dr. Komolafe, you can take it off from there.
Yes, thank you so very much, Dr. Mba. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Mba, who has made a wonderful compliment to that which I have shared today. People used to think that the medical and the psychosocial will always fight. No need to fight. We are complements. Now, can you see the creativity that is coming out? We're looking at gaps, either in the medical or in the psychosocial or behavioral. By the time you take this training next week for 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, you will be cocksure of what you are doing, where you are going. Oh, I'm not a medical doctor. You don't need to be to solve human problems. As long as you are passionate about people, then you need this framework, because it will show you that even now that this person is okay on the surface, he does not need hospitalization, no need of therapy, as they see. This person needs to go on in life. This person needs to know the step-by-step aggregation of his life without having to bite the dust. Errors that can be averted should be averted. In this side of the world, we so much believe in getting to the bridge first before knowing what to do crossing it, which is a therapy case for every one of us. So when we get to the bridge, I've gone to several places. They'll say, young man, don't worry, what is bothering me now is more than what you are saying. However, when we get to the bridge, we'll know how to cross it. By the time they get to the bridge, they are not even aware that they have crossed the bridge. And they cross it in error. They are down. Of what use is making wealth to go and look for health? That's our bane in Africa, an African client. We work ourselves to death so that we can enjoy. And at the end of the day, what you get will be used for your health. And then you hear people, when they are now doing curative, you hear people say, it is whatever you have you will use to take care of your health. Health is number one. That's when they are already in the saddle. But before they are in the saddle, they say, don't worry, my body can adjust. I can still cope. And many of these maladies don't get to show on the face. How do you know a client who, after rehab or after a restorative program in the hospital and all that, how do you know the negative variables on his inside that are waiting for triggers? This framework answers it. You can show the individual to percentage to say, sir, look at this. Although it's not manifesting, you have accumulated them so well in your behavioral violation virtual can. Let's empty it now. Don't wait until it is full. That's the joy, that's the fun. People don't take you by surprise. And people say, oh, I don't know. And like I said last week, many a time people blame devil. They say it's the devil. The day you start violating little by little and shifting away from who you are in your inside, you know that you are no longer yourself. But how to walk back, you don't know. And some will just trivialize it. The framework captures it so that you can say, hey, before I go too far, let me retrace my step and bounce back. And so, violence is no longer just a thing on the outside. It begins with a series of internal violations to your lifestyle protocol, what you used to be and do in the ethical sense of it. So this is the training. Let me host it again. And you see, we trust that we'll have many people you will want to ask to participate in this, because this secret must be made known to all. We don't want the relapses anymore. We believe people can be free for once and go home. And people who are already at home, needing these facilities, can also enjoy it, hook, line, and sinker. Let me show you a bit of the course before we round off. Can you see now? We have spent almost 2 hours. 2 hours have come and gone just like that, introducing. So there's really no much time to show you everything. That's why we have packaged it, and it's going to be certificated with some of our collaborating partners, local, international, so that it will count for you. Now, I don't know if you can see my display. This is the course, and you see what I display?
Yes, it's in.
That is it.
It's in.
Yes, I can see.
It's a 2-day certification masterclass, season 1.0. Meaning we are going to have so many other seasons. We want to come back after 3 months and see how far this has helped in schools, in business balance, in homes, in marriages. Is a multifaceted framework that works just for anywhere and anything. But because we are so passionate about the incidences of relapses, and parents are beginning to be handicapped, psychologists, psychiatrists, and caregivers are handicapped. They say this is the 3rd time they are bringing this boy. Let's try again. We don't want the issue of let's just try again. No. We want to do what we call behavioral invasion. So by April 8 and 9, which is Tuesday and Wednesday next week, I want to expose you to the art and science of behavioral invasion. How do I get results? Handling cases, seeing people weep for free just because you touch what is inside them and show them. They say, that's my struggle, doctor. That's what I have been going through. And they break down in tears. That's therapy, you know. When they finish those type of tears and crying, they get whole from the inside. They have assurance that what? You touch me where it matters. I believe there's going to be great outcome through this. So this is the course. All you need to do is to send to my telephone number relapses as a masterclass. What is written here? 1.0. Just do the needful. What is it? Enquiry. Send relapses 1.0 to my telephone WhatsApp. Put your name. Now, this is not free because you are going to use it to scale. You are going to use it to generate so many leads and prospects. It's going to improve a huge lot on your impact assessment and for commerce. You are able to open your office and do things much more professional. You are able to do real-time therapy, online, offline, on-site, and capture both your design and the details. We'll have charged so high and all of that, but we felt like making it almost nothing for everybody. And because we are going to give you materials, we are going to give you the resources and show you how to use them and engage. And then some of you will say, doctor, my own is not for relapse cases. I want to empower the young men around me, or I'm an organizer of youth so and so, or I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, or I'm passionate about people finding purpose and all of that. or I want students who are cut out for significance, whatever it is, we can work with you later on to integrate the framework so that you bring out their health, their strength, their wealth, their depth, and everything around about their ecosystem. So for just a tiny sum of 30,000 for the 2 days with certification and resources, we are going to give you this course. You know what we want you to do? Please get people registered. You need this replay to support your introducing the course to people. Please also indicate quickly. We'll send the replay to you after now so that you can listen over and over and send it to people across the world so that they can also register. So 5 people, that is 150,000. But if you register 5 people, we are going to give you a discount 30,000. So if you have a cluster of 5 people registering,
what did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Instead of paying 30,
I didn't hear what you said.
all of you, the cluster will just pay 120,000 for 5 people. But if it is individual, everybody pays 30,000. So that is what we feel we should do. We'll have said, bring 250, bring 300, which is even much more worth than it. But we want to be able to raise a critical mass, or we go into platforms, places, integrate this framework and help people, help society. So send to my WhatsApp number 08035 999 220 and indicate your interest. We'll send you what you need to have. You'll make the payment. Tell us how many other people you are bringing in, and then we can also work with you, and we will support you to integrate it raw on all your platforms, whatever that you do, so that we can institutionalize your work, your purpose, your project through the no-grow show strategy. You must know people's personal identity in total, grow their personal authority in total, and showcase their personal creativity in total. Where you are able to do this from the inside to the outside, then you have fulfilled the no-grow show strategy that delivers without the reproach and the relapses. We'd like to thank everyone who participated. So how many of you need the replay? Send to my WhatsApp replay version, and then for the course, so that you can have the two and plan for it. You know it once, you know it forever. You can raise a hub where you also help others by disseminating knowledge. We will work with you, and then you have a clean, neat, straight, and raise the future leadership generation without fanfare and without the scenes. Knowledge is fundamental. You have it, you know it, and use it, your work is speedy. And that's why we must commend the effort of Mr. Alexander Okoro. Please pick my number. I'd like to become your friend if you will accept me. I like your spirit, what you are
Thank
doing
you, sir.
around the world.
It's my pleasure, sir.
I'd like to thank everyone for making it a day today. Please, let's hear your impact assessment over this. And then we are hands-on. We travel anywhere, go anywhere. I'm in Lagos often, Port Harcourt, wherever, for equipping, training, therapy, just to handle one boy there one lady there who is not coordinating well, and they bounce back because of behavioral invasion. We invade into people through fact and figures, hitting the ground running, and modify their behavior with or without the drugs. And they cope well and cope fine. So, do we have final comments? Mr. Samuel Patrick Essien, you're welcome. Olamikosi Yusuf, you are here. You're welcome. I hope you will take this training. Musa Benjamin, who first came, I hope you will take this training. Who is here again? We have here with us Atinuke King. I hope you will take this training, madam. And Madam Okeke Kure. No, you came first. Madam Okeke Kure, I hope you are still here. You need
Okeke.
Okay, that's very good. So send to us and let's see how it goes. Invite us to places. We'll come there live and direct. And we can online, offline, and on. There'll be no question, no contribution. Anybody contributing? Musa Benjamin, you've been so passionate. Can we hear your voice? Madam Okeke Kure, final comments? Anyone?
She says she.
Thank you, sir. We are very grateful, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you.
So can we see what our faces look like? Just like you are seeing my.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Yusuf has not changed. He used to be us. Thank you, Musa Benjamin, Samuel Patrick.
God bless you.
See your face. And then where are we?
Thank you very much, sir.
Federal Capital Territory. Mr. Musa Benjamin, where are you, sir?
Within the federal capital, only that the voice has been so very low this time. I don't know what, maybe it is my system.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Mr. Alex Okoro, where are you? Oh, we can't.
Okay, thank you very much. I so much appreciate. I'm actually in Lagos. I'm actually based in Lagos.
That's good.
Yes.
Because it's just here. We come there, a huge lot that we'll do a huge lot together. Mr. Samuel Patrick, where are you? Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Europe, Canada, Australia.
Okay.
Yusuf is in Abuja.
Okay, Doc. This is Okeke Kure. I'm in Abuja, FCT, Nigeria.
Wow. So you are home with us. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, everyone. So we'd like to call it a day.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a lovely evening. Mr. Samuel Patrick Essien, we can finally see your face. Where are you, sir? Abuja, Lagos? Oh, he is muted. We can't get to hear him.
Okay, he has unmuted.
Okay, so where are you, sir?
Thank you so much for your patience with me. I'm trying to come on board. I am in a city of FCT.
Oh.
AMAC, precisely.
Oh.
That's right.
Thank you so very much. So we have the honors and the duty to spread this knowledge and to say, hey, something new is here. And we can't wait.
Yeah, sorry, doctor. I didn't get to type your number when you called the number.
Okay, let me just show
you. Can display the number again.
Yes, let me display it here.
For that follow-up.
Yes, that is it here. 080.
Okay, 080.
35.
35.
999.
999.
220.
220.
Yeah. Somebody is already indicating to joining us from all the way from America. Can you see?
Yeah.
This is huge. So please send it and then send me your numbers so that we can send you the replay.
Okay.
Thank you so very much, everyone. Have a lovely,
God bless you, sir.
lovely day.
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mba, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Have a lovely
Thank you so much.